Recurring electrical gremlins, clutch failures, and endless workshop visits have forced evaluators to strip several popular bikes of their recommended status. In this video, we see 12 motorcycles Consumer Reports just stopped recommending in 2026. Number 12, BMW R18. The BMW R18 looks like the kind of motorcycle that should deliver years of relaxed cruising with very little drama, but its ownership experience can be more complicated than its classic appearance suggests. Owners are drawn to its huge presence, premium finish, and traditional cruiser layout, yet the motorcycle's size and complexity can make certain repairs and maintenance more expensive than expected. Power comes from a massive 1800cc boxer twin engine producing around 91 horsepower and 116 pound-feet of torque. That enormous engine gives the R18 effortless low-speed pull, but it also contributes to the motorcycle's substantial weight. At more than 760 pounds ready to ride, moving it around a garage or parking lot can become a real chore, especially when something needs attention. Another concern is the cost of ownership. Premium BMW components and specialized service can make routine work more expensive than what owners might expect from a traditional cruiser. When electronic systems or other specialized components need attention, the repair bill can climb quickly. The R18 is also a motorcycle that rewards careful maintenance. Owners who stay on top of service are far more likely to have a smooth ownership experience, while neglecting small issues can become expensive as the motorcycle ages. Overall, the BMW R18 offers incredible presence and an impressive engine, but its size, premium components, and potentially expensive service make it a motorcycle buyers should think carefully about before assuming ownership will always be trouble-free. Number 11, Harley-Davidson Road Glide. The Harley-Davidson Road Glide is built for riders who want to cover serious miles in comfort, but owning a large touring motorcycle can bring a very different experience once maintenance and repairs enter the picture. Its size, equipment, and large number of components mean there is simply more to maintain compared with a basic cruiser. Power comes from a Milwaukee 8107 engine in the standard Road Glide, producing roughly 92 horsepower and around 111 pound-feet of torque. That strong torque makes highway cruising effortless, but the motorcycle itself weighs well over 800 pounds ready to ride. That weight can make simple tasks such as moving the bike around a garage or recovering it from an awkward position much more difficult. The biggest concern for some owners is the cost that comes with keeping a large touring Harley in top condition. Routine service can already be expensive, and once electrical components, infotainment equipment, suspension parts, or other specialized systems need attention, repair costs can rise quickly. Long-distance riders also put significantly more miles on these motorcycles than the average cruiser owner. More mileage means components naturally see greater wear, especially on bikes used for frequent highway trips and cross-country travel. Overall, the Road Glide delivers excellent touring capability and strong road presence, but its sheer size, complex equipment, high mileage potential, and expensive service can make ownership more demanding than buyers might expect. Number 10, Suzuki Boulevard M109R. The Suzuki Boulevard M109R is the kind of motorcycle that attracts buyers with its huge engine, aggressive styling, and impressive road presence. But that same size and performance can make ownership more demanding than it first appears, especially for riders who expect a large cruiser to be simple and inexpensive to maintain. Power comes from a massive 1700cc V-twin engine producing around 125 horsepower and 118 pound-feet of torque. That gives the M109R serious acceleration for a cruiser, but the motorcycle also weighs roughly 764 pounds ready to ride. Its large engine, substantial chassis, and wide rear tire can make routine maintenance and low-speed maneuvering more demanding than on a lighter motorcycle. The M109R's performance can also encourage harder riding. Riders who regularly use its strong acceleration put additional demands on tires, brakes, drivetrain components, and other wear items. That doesn't mean every motorcycle will develop problems, but it does mean ownership costs can climb faster when the bike is ridden aggressively. Overall, the Suzuki Boulevard M109R delivers serious performance and plenty of character. But its massive engine, heavy chassis, expensive consumables, and higher running costs make it a motorcycle buyers should understand fully before committing to ownership. Number 9. Indian Chief. The Indian Chief has plenty going for it, including classic American styling, strong performance, and a premium feel, but the ownership experience can become expensive when maintenance and repairs start adding up. Buyers are often attracted by its impressive road presence without fully considering what it can cost to keep a large modern cruiser in top condition. Power comes from an 1800cc Thunderstroke 111 V-twin, producing around 87 horsepower and 108 pound-feet of torque. That engine gives the Chief strong low-end pull and effortless cruising ability, but the motorcycle weighs roughly 670 pounds. That combination of size and weight means where items, tires, brakes, and other components can cost more to replace than they would on a smaller cruiser. The Chief also uses modern electronics and rider-focused equipment that add to the overall ownership experience, but additional systems can mean additional components that may eventually require attention. When a premium motorcycle needs specialized parts or dealer-level service, repair bills can become much higher than owners expect. Another factor is how these motorcycles are commonly used. Long rides and frequent highway miles can put substantial wear on tires, brakes, suspension components, and driveline parts. The motorcycle itself is capable of handling that use, but owners need to budget for the maintenance that comes with it. Overall, the Indian Chief delivers impressive torque, classic styling, and serious cruising ability. But its size, premium components, and potentially expensive maintenance make it a motorcycle that deserves careful consideration before buying. Number 8. Harley-Davidson Nightster. The Harley-Davidson Nightster looks like a relatively simple motorcycle compared with Harley's large touring models, but its modern design brings a different kind of ownership experience. Buyers are attracted to its compact size, aggressive styling, and strong performance. Yet long-term ownership can involve more attention than someone might expect from a smaller Harley. At roughly 481 pounds ready to ride, it is easier to handle than a heavyweight Harley, but its modern liquid-cooled engine and electronic systems are more complex than the older air-cooled platforms many Harley buyers are familiar with. The modern electronics are useful, but they also mean there are more systems involved than on a basic traditional cruiser. When sensors, electronic controls, or other specialized components require attention, owners may need dealer-level diagnostics rather than simple garage repairs. The Nightster also has a performance-focused character that encourages spirited riding. Frequent hard acceleration and aggressive use can naturally increase wear on tires, brakes, and drivetrain components, especially when the motorcycle is ridden regularly. Overall, the Nightster offers strong performance and modern Harley styling in a compact package. But its newer technology, specialized components, and higher performance character mean buyers should be prepared for a more involved ownership experience than its size might suggest. Number 7. Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650. The Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650 looks like an easy motorcycle to recommend because of its classic styling, comfortable cruiser layout, and relatively affordable price. But for buyers focused on long-term ownership, some reported quality and reliability concerns can make the motorcycle less appealing than it first appears. One area that has drawn complaints is the smaller electrical and mechanical components. Owners have reported issues involving switches, electrical connections, sensors, and other minor parts. None of these problems necessarily means the entire motorcycle is unreliable, but repeated small failures can become frustrating when a bike needs attention more often than expected. Build quality is another area worth watching. Some owners have reported problems with finishes, fasteners, and components developing issues earlier than they expected. These are not necessarily catastrophic failures, but they can create a steady stream of small repairs that take away from the ownership experience. The Super Meteor is also a fairly heavy motorcycle for its class. At roughly 531 pounds, moving it around a garage or parking space can take more effort than buyers might expect from a 650cc motorcycle. That becomes especially noticeable when the bike needs to be pushed, repositioned, or handled on uneven ground. Overall, the Super Meteor 650 has plenty of style and character, but reported electrical concerns, smaller quality issues, and its substantial weight mean buyers should look beyond the attractive price and classic design before committing to one. Number 6. A Triumph Bonneville Bobber. The Triumph Bonneville Bobber looks premium and carefully built, but its stylish appearance doesn't completely eliminate the ownership concerns that can come with a modern European motorcycle. Buyers are paying for distinctive design and strong performance, yet some owners have reported electrical and component-related issues that can become frustrating over time. One area worth watching is the motorcycle's electronics. Modern Triumphs use a range of electronic controls and sensors, and when something goes wrong, diagnosing the problem can be more complicated than dealing with a basic cruiser. A minor electrical fault can sometimes mean a trip to a dealer rather than a quick repair at home. The Bobber's premium components can also make repairs more expensive. Specialized parts, dealer labor, and the cost of maintaining a higher-end European motorcycle can add up quickly when multiple issues appear over the years. The single-seat design and limited practicality can also become a drawback for some owners. Riders who later want to carry a passenger or use the motorcycle for longer trips may find themselves wanting something more versatile, which can lead to another purchase sooner than expected. Overall, the Bonneville Bobber delivers excellent styling and a distinctive riding experience, but potential electrical issues, higher service costs, and limited practicality are worth considering before buying one as a long-term motorcycle. Number 5. Harley-Davidson Street 750. The Harley-Davidson Street 750 looked like an affordable way to get into the Harley-Davidson brand, but its lower price came with compromises that many buyers eventually noticed. It offered familiar Harley styling in a smaller package, yet riders expecting the traditional big cruiser experience often found the motorcycle less satisfying than they had hoped. The 749cc V-twin provides enough performance for everyday riding, but the Street 750 can feel limited once highway speeds and longer trips become a regular part of ownership. Riders who want stronger acceleration, better passing power, and more highway confidence may eventually find themselves looking toward a larger motorcycle. Some owners have also reported electrical and starting-related problems, along with other smaller component issues. These may not turn into major engine failures, but repeated faults can still become frustrating when a motorcycle starts requiring more attention than expected. Another concern is long-term value. Many buyers chose the Street 750 as an entry point into Harley-Davidson ownership, only to realize later that they wanted something larger and more capable. That can lead to an earlier upgrade and make the original purchase feel less worthwhile. Overall, the Street 750 offers recognizable Harley styling and approachable performance, but its limited highway ability, reported ownership complaints, and tendency to leave riders wanting more make it a motorcycle worth researching carefully before buying used or keeping long-term. Number 4. Indian Challenger. The Indian Challenger is built to deliver serious long-distance performance, but its premium touring equipment also means there is more to maintain than on a basic cruiser. Owners who buy one expecting simple American cruiser ownership can be surprised by the cost and complexity that comes with a fully equipped touring motorcycle. The biggest concern is the amount of technology packed into the bike. Its infotainment system, electronic controls, sensors, and other modern components add convenience, but they also create more potential points of failure. Weight is another issue. The Challenger weighs well over 800 pounds, making it a serious machine to move around when the engine isn't running. Parking on uneven surfaces, backing it out of a tight space, or recovering it from a difficult position can become physically demanding, especially for riders who expected a more manageable cruiser. Overall, the Indian Challenger offers impressive touring ability, But its heavy construction, complex electronics, and potentially expensive maintenance make it a motorcycle buyers should approach with realistic expectations about long-term ownership costs. Number 3. Triumph Rocket 3. The Triumph Rocket 3 is one of those motorcycles that looks incredible on paper, but its enormous size and performance can make ownership much more demanding than a normal cruiser. Buyers are attracted by the huge engine, aggressive styling, and unbelievable road presence, but those same qualities can create higher running costs and more physical demands. The biggest issue is the sheer amount of motorcycle you're dealing with. The Rocket 3 weighs around 640 pounds, and its long wheelbase and large proportions make tight parking spaces and slow-speed maneuvering more difficult. Moving a motorcycle this large around a garage can also be a serious task when the engine isn't helping you. Its enormous 2400cc three-cylinder engine is another part of the ownership equation. The engine produces roughly 165 horsepower and 163 pound-feet of torque, giving the Rocket 3 extreme acceleration for a cruiser. That performance can put greater demands on tires, brakes, and other wear components, making regular running costs higher for riders who frequently use all that power. The motorcycle's premium equipment can add to the expense as well. Specialized components and dealer labor aren't cheap, and owners should be prepared for higher bills when major service or repairs are required. Overall, the Rocket 3 is an impressive machine, but its huge size, extreme performance, and higher running costs make it a motorcycle that requires a bigger commitment than its showroom appeal might suggest. Number 2. Harley-Davidson Sportster S. The Harley-Davidson Sportster S looks aggressive and modern, but that new approach has created some compromises that owners may not appreciate over the long term. It has plenty of road presence, yet the motorcycle's focus on performance and styling comes at the expense of some of the comfort and practicality that riders expect from a cruiser. One of the biggest complaints is the ride quality. The suspension can feel firm over rough pavement, while the riding position puts more pressure on the rider than a traditional relaxed cruiser. For shorter trips that may not matter much, but after several hours on the road, the lack of comfort can become difficult to ignore. The motorcycle's electronics are another area worth considering. Sensors, electronic rider aids, and modern control systems add useful features, but they also mean more components that may eventually need diagnosis or replacement. When those systems develop problems, repairs can require specialized equipment and dealer assistance. Practicality is another weakness. The Sportster S has limited passenger capability and isn't designed around carrying luggage or spending entire days on the highway. Riders who buy it expecting a versatile cruiser may eventually realize that its strengths are focused more on style and performance than everyday usefulness. Overall, the Sportster S delivers plenty of attitude, but its firm ride, limited practicality, and more complicated electronics can make long-term ownership less appealing than its aggressive appearance suggests. Number 1. Indian Scout Bobber. The Indian Scout Bobber looks fantastic and has plenty of character, but its stripped-down design can come with compromises that become more noticeable during long-term ownership. What initially attracts buyers, the low stance, aggressive styling, and minimalist appearance, can eventually become less appealing when comfort and practicality start to matter. The riding position is one of the biggest concerns. The low seat and compact layout look great, but the firm seat and limited suspension travel can make rough roads uncomfortable. Riders who spend several hours in the saddle may start wishing for better cushioning and more suspension compliance. Practicality is another weakness. The Bobber's minimalist design leaves little room for carrying luggage, while passenger accommodation is limited compared with larger cruisers. Owners who eventually want to take longer trips or carry more gear may find themselves spending extra money on accessories just to make the motorcycle more useful. Maintenance costs can also add up over time. Tires, brakes, suspension components, and other wear items need attention as mileage increases, and premium cruiser parts are not always cheap. Owners who ride frequently should be prepared for these ongoing expenses rather than focusing only on the purchase price. Another consideration is that the bobber's style can make it less versatile than it first appears. It works best as a solo cruiser for shorter rides, but buyers wanting one motorcycle for commuting, touring, and carrying a passenger may eventually find its limitations frustrating. Overall, the Indian Scout Bobber has plenty of style and character, but its firm ride-limited practicality and ongoing ownership costs make it a motorcycle worth researching carefully before buying. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.